Well, hey there, y'all. So today I am chatting about some honest mistakes that I made in business this year. I don't know about y'all, but I love hearing success stories, but I also love hearing when people just pull back the curtain and kind of let you in on, hey, I did this wrong. If I had do-overs, I would do it like this. Because to me, just as people, as human to human, as business owner to business owner, it's so valuable to learn from other people's mistakes. And truly, my whole life, I have been one that I would much rather learn from somebody else's mistakes than make them myself if I can avoid it. So here are 3 mistakes I made in business this year that hopefully you can learn from and not make the same mistakes. All right, y'all, we'll jump right in. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees. Until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. Okay, so just a little bit of a background on my business and length of time in business in case y'all don't know this, because it does give context to the mistakes. So I started my first blog in 2017, the fall of the year my daughter was born. And then I really started honing in on copywriting and content writing for other businesses in 2020. And not because of the 2020 craziness, it just happened to work out that way. And business is something that I've always been passionate about. Marketing is something that I've literally done since I was a kid. It's just something that comes really naturally to me and something that I have studied and studied and studied. Like in my free time, I read books about marketing and messaging and copywriting. And so it's something that's been in process and evolving for a long time. I've had several businesses throughout my life. First was the failed lemonade stand down a rural road with a fast speed limit. That's another story for another day. I cleaned houses and had a house cleaning business in high school. And then at Bible college, I have made headbands and sold those, had a product business. I've done the network marketing deal with essential oils. I have, let's see, what else have I done? Oh, I've raised and sold miniature Australian Shepherd puppies and marketed those and got, really good at that. And so business has been a part of my life for a while. And God bless my husband, y'all. He still gets to hear about, oh my gosh, all of the new business ideas I have. I just really have that entrepreneurial spirit where I'm like constantly coming up with new ideas. Not all of them are good ideas. And I don't have 45,000 hours a day to follow through with all of them. But I've been in business for a while, right? So I've been generating consistent income since about 2020. It's not, for a long time, it wasn't something that my family had to have to make ends meet. It was just like extra money. And then as we got serious about it, we're like, yeah, this needs to be like part of our game plan. And so I've taken a more, not aggressive, but more focused approach to business. And so this year, going into 2023, 2022 was fantastic for me in that I really, really honed in on my niche and, just really nailed down on great SEO strategies and being able to communicate that, because I realized, Faith, you can talk about marketing, but you can talk about SEO in a way that is very unique and very simplistic, but effective for people. And so I really honed in on that aspect of my content. And so 2022, I saw some really gangbuster growth. And then 2023, I was really set up for some really great growth. And I have seen some fantastic growth in 2023. I've got another episode coming for y'all on the things I did right this year. But today I want to talk about mistakes. So 3 mistakes I made this year in business. And so the first thing really that I did, the first mistake that I made in business this year, was I was looking at growth on a line instead of a curve. Now, I know better than to do this, y'all. Like, I have children, I train horses. Like, I realize that growth is not always super linear. And I realize that your email list does not always grow, X amount of people per month, increasing at a certain percentage. But my go big or go home, big dreamer mentality, I looked at it in a very linear way instead of a curve, and instead of taking into consideration, there are certain months that sales are down for most people. And so because I looked at that growth on a line instead of a curve, it was a little discouraging for me when I was like, I expected my revenue to increase by X percent this month, and it only increased by this percent. And not that I'm trying to be greedy McGreedy pants, but when you're expecting linear and it's a little more of a curve, it can be disheartening. So older and wiser Faith this year, I'm going to look at a little more of a curve growth than a linear growth as far as like what my expectations are and my budgets and stuff like that. So the other mistake number 2 that I made, was honestly not prepping for hiring the way that I needed to prep. And in a sense, hiring too quickly. And not, when I say hiring, I mean, in this case, I mean interns. And not that my interns did anything wrong. They are phenomenal. I love them. I love their guts and livers. But me, over here, little Faith, I didn't have the processes in place to teach them and train them and onboard them as well as I should have. On me, completely on me, not on them. They did phenomenal with what they were given. But I was so excited to grow, and I was so excited to see growth and to be able to really lean into my strong suits, that I didn't have a lot of explanations in place for why I choose to do things the way that I do them, or how I want them done, or this is exactly how I want this thing written, specifically with blogging, because I'm a writer by nature, and I've written for so long that I was like, oh, wait, no, I need to explain why I do that. And for me, honestly, it was really humbling to be like, oh, yeah, Faith, you need to step up your leadership, because I love leadership. I love reading about leadership. Leadership is something I'm super passionate about. And so to really be hit in the face with the fact that, all of your leadership training is cool, but when the rubber meets the road, you need to step it up, girlfriend. And so that was a mistake on me, right? And maybe hiring too quick is the wrong way to say that. More like lack of good training on my part. I didn't do good enough in the training and the processes like I really wanted to. So that's mistake number 2. Well, hey there, pals. Are you looking to get more traffic to and more leads from your website in the coming year using the power of SEO? Are you tired of the hustle, the grind, and constantly changing algorithm of the social media game? Are you ready for sustainable marketing without 80 hours of work each week? Then go check out my signature course, The Organic Marketing Framework, where I break down exactly what our team has done with clients and students to help them get more traffic, more sales, and to know how to harness the power of SEO without losing their minds. head on over to faithhannon.com/framework and learn how to get more leads from your website in just 4 weeks. And then the next mistake I really made, honestly, I think I have 4 mistakes. Sorry, guys. The third mistake I made is I kind of got to a place where I didn't enjoy creating as much. Now, in hindsight, that was probably mostly hormones. Sorry, guys, but I was pregnant for most of 2023, and then had a baby, and so it's like that plays a big part in your energy and motivation and capacity. But I had, so much content that I had to create that it was getting to a place where it wasn't fun. I caught it real quick and I stopped it and I changed up my approach to make it fun again. But I just, getting to the place where I don't enjoy creating content, I think that's a mistake, and that's preventable because I know myself well enough to prevent that. And actually in episode number 57, if you're somebody that's like, this is me, Faith, I am not having fun creating content. Episode number 57, I talk about 5 different approaches to content creation that you can take, because to be very frank, not every approach works for every person. And so if you're somebody who, your brain works a certain way, like set up your content creation to work for your brain and your life instead of trying to cram your brain and your life into a different methodology. Okay. And mistake number 4, which is probably the biggest mistake I made this year, and the one that probably impacted a lot of the other mistakes, is that more than once I compared myself, and more importantly, my work hours and capacity, to colleagues who are in a completely and totally different season than I am. So I am a work-at-home mom. I have little bitty kids, and my work hours are very limited, and even more limited with the addition of number 3. And so even with 2 kids at home that I'm homeschooling, like my work hours are just not the same as my colleagues. And that's okay, right? Like I am gifted and anointed by God for my life, and they are gifted and anointed by God for theirs. And so how foolish of me to compare that. How foolish. And in hindsight, I'm like, oh, duh, Faith, like, why are you doing that? But that was definitely a mistake that I made. And it impacted like the amount of projects that I thought I could take on within my business. And it impacted, really probably the growth curve line situation that I talked about in mistake number 1. And then it was like, oh, why am I not seeing these results? Why am I not seeing this? Well, because Faith, you're not in the same place. You don't have the same capacity. You don't have the same team size, and it's okay. So those are 4, not 3, 4 mistakes that I made in business this year that I want to learn. I want you to learn from. I want to learn from the mistakes. I don't want to make the same ones, but I really want you to learn from them as well. And then as you go into this next year of business, just kind of guard against that, right? Like realize that growth is very often on a curve instead of a line. And you need to have as many processes and as good of training as possible in place before you onboard somebody new. And number 3, like enjoy creating content. You need to create content in a way that you enjoy it. And number 4, don't compare yourself to your colleagues. There's a scripture that says, don't compare yourself amongst yourselves. And I think that is so crucial in so many areas, but especially business. All right, y'all, we will chat with you next episode. And I'm praying that y'all have just a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and week. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.